that's huge. And speaking of Brazil, I think that's where there's also huge scavenging business. I know it sounds shocking, but a lot of our people actually make a living in the dumps. How do you think that this can actually be formalized in some way, or should it be?
Definitely, it should be formalized and regularized in some sort of pattern under a corporation or some sort of body to really govern what's happening there with scavengers, because they do play an important part in reducing the amount of waste in landfills. Even locally, we see that happening. We see at most landfill sites there are steel collectors, and there are these different people collecting materials from the landfills, and they do contribute in that they reduce the amount of waste that is actually buried in the landfill. So we need to obviously get these guys organized under some sort of umbrella body and sort of regularize what is happening inside.
Well, I want to talk about these recycled products in a couple of minutes, but very quickly, I want your closing remarks, the way forward, Richard.
Again, I think we need to bring it to a very personal level. There needs to be the interest, and we each need to make the extra effort to find the ways to see what we can do individually. By doing that, I think we will be pushing the industry forward and pushing our government and pushing our businesses to do the steps that are necessary. So we just need to have that personal effort.
Okay, Christian.
I think that we need to identify the worth we have in our waste. We need to capture that in going after sorting it and reusing it. I think there's tremendous labor opportunities in this, because it's a lot of labor intensive in the sorting aspect of it and collection of it, so that there is opportunity here and worthwhile compensated opportunity for income earning.
Okay, and Ricardo.
First, I'd like to see we have a new administration in, and they're speaking a lot about waste management and actually solving the problem. So I'd like to see a lot of the plans that were spoken about put into place, the incentives for businesses to enable us to start recycling programs and stuff, and even bring in products from the state. There are a lot of duties and stuff on these things that I experience personally. So government incentives really and truly to encourage and start recycling programs.
Well, gentlemen, I can't go before thanking you on behalf of CNC3 for these wonderful presents. Ricardo, do you want to tell me what this is?
This is a planter, simple planter. It's made out of copper or coconut husk material. It's a simple way and a simple example of recycling. Instead of simply taking the organic waste, your copper, and dumping it and leaving it there to rot. And you can mold it into different things. So this planter here, you simply put your plant into it. It grows, the roots come out of the inside, and when you're ready, you simply plant it in the ground. And there's nothing to throw away, no plastic pot to remove.
And perhaps you can show us what's in that. There's a pen in there, or pencil.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's a present from Richard.
Just a sample I wrote. This was actually once upon a time a plastic cup. Christian mentioned one of the considerations of recycling is that you take waste and you cannot necessarily use it back into a bottle form where it has to be food grade, but you can use it for non-food grade items such as this. So this was once a plastic cup, it's now a pencil to be used by a child to further their education.
That's wonderful, gentlemen. Thank you so much. And that's where we wrap up. I want to thank today's panelists, Christian Kennell, the Managing Director of Resin Converters Limited, Ricardo Gay, the Managing Director of Technical Systems Limited, and Richard Tang, the Management Consultant. In the coming weeks, we will continue to talk about recycling. As we go, I want to share some photographs with you sent by one viewer who said, quote, after the last election, TNT was left in a big mess by people attending political meetings. Before the local election, Woodford Square was turned into a dump site. Port of Spain needs a clean and beautify day at least once a month. And here are the photos to prove it. Well, I am sure that this was the scene all over Trinidad by supporters of all political parties. We really should be ashamed of ourselves. And perhaps the first thing local government authorities should provide are more bins around the cities and for mass gatherings. Guardian Media want to know how you feel about our environment. How do you feel when you drive by the dump, see plastic bottles being washed up on our shores? Are you willing to make a change to sort out your waste and recycle? Are you already playing your part? We want to hear from you. Email us on cleaningupthemess@guardian.co.tt. Unless you and I want a cleaner environment, it won't happen. Unless we teach our children, it won't happen. And unless we take the trouble to sort out our waste, it can't happen. In the coming weeks, we will tell you where to go if you want to recycle your paper, plastics, and glass. Also look out for upcoming guest columns in The Guardian on Thursdays. We're also on Facebook at www.facebook.com. cleaning up the mess. We will continue this discussion next week and include bottle recycling. In the meantime, do your part. I urge you not to litter, recycle your paper and plastics as much as you can, and work towards creating a cleaner and greener Trinidad and Tobago. This is CNC3. I'm Ira Mathur. Have a great Sunday.